Hello everyone, welcome to Model Walk Explained. Tonight's story is called The Last Journey. Our model will portray Olivia, a young woman in the final stage of pancreatic cancer. Olivia sat in the doctor's office and heard the words she both knew and didn't want to know: terminal pancreatic cancer. At most 3 months. She was only 28, yet it felt like she was listening to someone else's story. She nodded, thanked the doctor, and walked out of the hospital. The Victoria Harbour wind blew through her long hair. She didn't cry. She just wanted to see Lucas. Lucas was her university boyfriend. They broke up by the harbour because she said, "We're too young to tie each other down." After the breakup, he moved to London to become an architect, while she stayed in Hong Kong as an illustrator. 10 years passed, and they only glimpsed each other on social media, without ever reaching out. She called him one ordinary afternoon. "Lucas, I'm sick. I want to see you one last time." He stayed silent for a long moment before replying, "I'll fly back to Hong Kong tomorrow." When Lucas arrived, Olivia was waiting at the airport. He was still tall and slim, with the same gentle eyes from years ago. He pulled her into his arms without asking about her illness, and simply said, "Let's complete your bucket list." The list was written together before they broke up, tucked away in an old notebook. Things we want to do together if there is a next life. First stop, watching the sunset at the peak. They took the tram up. Even though the summit was crowded, they squeezed against the railing. The sunset painted Victoria Harbour gold and red. Olivia leaned on his shoulder and whispered, "We once said we'd take our wedding photos here." Lucas smiled softly. "We can still do it now." He took out his phone and captured her side profile. She smiled like a young girl again, knowing this sweetness was on a countdown. Second stop, night cruise on Victoria Harbour. They rented a small boat, with an old boatman humming classic songs. The cool night breeze brushed past as the city lights sparkled on both shores. Olivia rested her head on his lap and said, "If there is a next life, I want to drift on the sea with you, like this again." Lucas gently stroked her hair. "Then let's promise. We'll find each other in the next life." She closed her eyes as tears slipped silently into her ears. Third stop, street food in the old district. They returned to Yau Ma Tei, wandering Temple Street night market, eating fish balls, rice rolls, and curry beef brisket. Sitting on low stools by the roadside, they fought over the last bite just like old times. He fed her, and she laughed at his messy hands. Suddenly he said, "Olivia, it was my mistake not fighting to keep you back then." She shook her head. "I was the one who pushed you away first, because I was afraid of losing you." As the days passed, Olivia's pain grew sharper. She started taking stronger painkillers, but refused to let him see her suffer. She said, "We still have one last thing to do." On the final night, Lunar New Year, fireworks. They stood at the Tsim Sha Tsui waterfront. Fireworks exploded across the sky in brilliant colors, like shattered dreams. Olivia wore the white dress he bought her, the hem fluttering in the wind. She held his hand tightly and whispered weakly, "Lucas, if there is a next life, remember to find me. I'll be waiting right here for you." He embraced her, tears falling onto her shoulder. "I will find you. I'll use every lifetime to look for you." When the fireworks ended, she rested in his arms, her breathing growing shallower. She said softly, "Thank you for walking this final journey with me." Then, she closed her eyes with a peaceful smile. Lucas held her on the bench until dawn. The sea breeze carried away the last trace of her warmth. He buried her near the peak, in a spot overlooking Victoria Harbour. The tombstone read, "If there is a next life, we'll watch the sunset together again." 1 month after the funeral, Lucas had a dream. In the dream, he went back to the day they broke up, 10 years earlier. This time, Olivia didn't say goodbye. She held his hand and said, "Let's not separate, okay?" They got married, had 2 children, walked along the harbour, watched fireworks, and took photos. They grew old together, hair turning white, still holding hands. In the dream, he kissed her and whispered, "This lifetime, I will never let you go. When he woke up, morning light filled his London apartment, and his pillow was soaked with tears. He realized it was a vision of a parallel world, a gentle version where they never broke up. He opened his computer and looked at her old photos. She was smiling so brightly. He whispered, "Olivia, thank you for that dream. I will live happily, because that's what you wanted for me." He closed the laptop and walked to the window. The London sky was grey, but a single ray of light broke through. He knew she was somewhere, watching over him. Time can steal everything, but it can never steal that final journey, those sweet countdown days, and that reunion in a parallel world. The cruelest tenderness of love is still wishing the other person happiness, even when you have to let go. The story ends here. If you liked tonight's video, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and give us a like. See you in the next episode. Thank you.
Secret nobody knows. I don't wanna keep it, so lean in close. Late in the evening, when the stars come out, it's just me and him in a perfect moment that I can't live without. Hey, Mother Nature, I need a favor from you. Oh, sunrise, promise you'll take your time as you kiss the sky with your golden light. I'm not ready to call it a night, so sunrise. Tell him, 'cause it happened so fast. And once I say those words, I can't take them back. Can you just stay hidden for a few more minutes, please? Oh, sunrise, promise you'll take your time as you kiss the sky with your golden light. I'm not ready to call it a night, so sunrise, no need to rush. The warmth of his touch is more than enough. I think I've fallen in love. Sunrise. You don't feel the same. What Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Oh, 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 oh.